Just want to give another plug for the dance t-shirt. The one hanging up there has all the dance groups that are performing this weekend. It's $15 over at the merchandise tent. If they're out of your size, they're actually going to order more and they'll send them out to you. So it's a really cool t-shirt. So our next group is O'Shea Irish Dance. While celebrating and perpetuating the rich tradition of Irish dance, O'Shea hopes to inspire students to achieve their highest potential. Above all, O'Shea wants their dancers of all ages to have fun and enjoy Irish dance in a friendly and supportive family atmosphere. Please welcome O'Shea Irish Dance.
O'Shea, and my husband and I, Cormac O'Shea, we run the school. That was a real nice, fast music, which we all love, and a little surprise at the end there was actually Ottawa Valley step dancing, something that comes down from Canada. It's very exciting, very loose, a wild, distant cousin to what we train as Irish step dancing. You notice that we'll bring our kids in through, mix the beginner levels and some of our senior performance teams who actually work the choreographies together. We'll bring up next a beautiful piece of music. Again, it's done in soft shoe traditionally, and also traditionally done only by the ladies. It's a lovely Langwood dance. The reason it's called a slip jig, jig is a 3-part timing. The slip is like a jig and a half. Has a little extra slide in the back, which is actually quite exciting. We have a surprise for you at the end here. We tried something a little different. We like to break convention, and we'll give you a sense starting with our beginner 3 dancers. Ladies, would you come on up? For many of these guys, this is their first time performing these steps. The kids progress to more complicated steps as they get older. They get more technical, they get more difficult, and these ladies will begin for us with the slip jig. Thank you.
Ready? Yep.
to make up rhythms that would go with a slip jig. So we made a treble slip jig and a treble light jig. I don't know that it's been done outside of just messing around, but that's how some of our best inventions come out. We enjoy doing that. You see these guys here, we have a special treat for you. These are our competitors who went to Chicago this July for the national championships. These guys have worked like crazy. Now, we as Osherish Dance do train as a competitive school. We welcome everybody, but Cormac is a registered GCRG, which means he brings kids to compete at local, regional, national, and even world championship levels. We had 3 kids dancing at the world championships this year as well. What they do when they do that is they have to present a piece in the light shoe. They have to present a piece in the hard or heavy shoe. And then they get to do something special called a set dance. It's done to a traditional piece of music. And in this case, it's a special choreography that Cormac makes up for them and their abilities. A lot of the other stuff they train in lines, they train to be very synchronized, they train to be very together. They'll do that as well, but for solo competition, they train to go all out as well. They really spend 3-4 days a week doing 3-4 hours a day of these classes to get to this level of athleticism and control. So our special piece here is called the Blackthorn Stick. To give them a second, these guys trained 7 to 11 years to do this. I want to give you their names, starting from me on here. Liam Slattery, Megan Wallner, Claire Beach, Maggie Lemakis, Rita Wagner, Sophie Meyerly, James Anderson, Amy Green, Kelly Long, and Evan Lau. These guys were Chica Moscow. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Thank you guys so much. You're ready for your next day. You notice there are 2 of our girls. This does train like a sport, and they get injuries. There's an incredible amount of pressure put on those ankles to do the toe points like they do in ballet, to do the huge rocks like they do. Incredible flexibility, incredible strength to control those shoe pieces. Now if I could have our beginner 2s come on up and line up, we'll show you that that has to start somewhere. Okay, these guys, come on up, darlings. These guys have been working since September in their hurt shoes. Would you guys scoot to the middle? So I'm going to take, okay, Cassie and Quenby, why don't you come all the way to the middle? Okay, Ellie, all the way in, darling. You guys find your chicken arm spread so we have lots of space. Now, can I take one of you? Let's say, Kate, will you turn around and show us the back of your shoe? In case you guys haven't seen it. It's kind of like a horse. There's 2 pieces to the shoe, and it's dangerous sometimes. Thank you, darling. Those shoe pieces are used to make two different sounds. So they're actually supposed to control it by being up on their toes and use the heels as separate sounds. It takes a long time to get this. These guys have been working very hard. And I do tell them as well, if I wasn't a dance teacher, I would be an English teacher. We use lots of big words in our classes. This is your debut. Right, guys? Do you remember what that one means? Their very first time on stage with their hard shoes. Please welcome their trouble team. Their next hard shoe dance. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of muscle control to get that sound and that strength. And it gets really exciting as you get into the hard shoe. It's their favorite part. We try and give everybody a chance to come on stage and do that. Next we have the boat. Next we have our St. Patrick's Day. Now I talked to you a little bit about the music earlier. St. Patrick's Day is a jig. Jig is done in 3 pieces, but this is a special tune. This is a tune, nobody knows how old it is. I have a lot of musician friends. It's a traditional tune. It goes back beyond anybody's capability of remembering who's taught it or who wrote it. They have a great tradition of handing musical pieces from one musician to the next. This is the dance version of that. So this is a traditional set piece called St. Patrick's Day. These guys are going to show you here. This is the first traditional set they learned. This choreography would be done all over the world, just the same. It's hundreds of years old as far as the choreography goes. It is really neat. They've actually used this piece to do flash mobs because they can get as many people as they want. Everybody knows the same thing, so it's kind of exciting that way. St. Patrick's Day is also used as a Ceilidh dance, which is the team or group dance that's done as a social thing, but we actually will also dance it competitively. You see that in the middle. And at the very end, we have a unique piece. It's a 16-hand Ceilidh dance, which we've never put on the stage before, which is called the Gates of Derry. Again, all very exciting. I'll give you this, again, choreography that's 100 years old. It's called St. Patrick's Day. Thank you. That last piece, you saw them going in, and now you can see how intricate it can be. That's called the telescope. And they actually had a hoot learning that all together. You can see the younger ones doing it before. It's a very finely tuned choreography, and it's tight to the music. And one person's a little bit off. It's like a car crash. It's amazing what can happen. But it's part of our learning process. And that's one of the best reasons that we're here. Now with that, we're going to let them catch their breath. And we're going to take our focus down to the very tiniest level. You can hear me talk a lot about the music as we're going through all of this, about the jigs, the slip jigs, the history, the tradition, St. Patrick's Day. These guys, we start with a music training and education. We devised our beginner classes with the executive director of the Center for Irish Music, who's trained as an early music childhood educator with the Oak system. And we use a lot of body to try and find the rhythm. We start with our hands and put it, where else will we put the rhythm? Put it in our knees. How do we get it into our feet? How do we make shapes on the stage? A lot of creative movement, which should be a lot more my background. How do we have a lot of fun doing it? These guys are very wonderful. And this, for the first time ever, I think maybe even in front of a crowd, we're going to have just a few of our little preschool kids come on up with Miss Sarah. So you can see where we start from. We have classes, and this is where we start as piano music education. These guys come in and they learn a lot, and they have lots of fun. We teach from the age of 3 years old. This is Miss Sarah in her preschool class. Step up now, you can see we start our beginner training from the age of kindergarten. They really do need the lines of social structure. You can see there's a lot of things going on there. They're learning to pull their knees up nice and high. They're learning to point their toes. They're learning to keep in rhythm with the music. It's all pre-dance instruction. And now we'll show you our beginner levels. Why don't you guys come on up? Come on, Lizzie. Hi, you guys. Find your lines. These guys, okay, I'm going to take your hand. You guys, will you come back and find your middle? Let me help you find your middle, okay? This way? Can you scoot down this way, darling? I still believe you guys, I want to make sure you get to see each and every one of these guys. They've been working for this year on their very first competitive step. The first thing we start with is the reel. You'll see that there's two main steps. There's one that's forward. It goes on a forward motion here, and then tuck tucked behind. It's very counterintuitive. It takes a long time to learn. The other one is the side that this leads from the front. This tucks in behind as they move this way. So you guys, let's say our steps 2. You concentrate really hard and start with a nice point. These are our beginner dancers. Thank you. Teaching, and you can actually probably hear one of the parts that's putting the smile on my face is the kids in the backstage, and even some of our kids I've seen, some of our dancers here in the front watching, they're shouting their steps to them. Hop 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a team effort. It's great community support, which is actually exactly what leads us to our next piece. I love that. It's so serendipitous because we're going to show you what we teach next to put those simple steps into a team effort. Would you guys come on the stage and take your places? I'm sure you can find your centers. Now these would be our beginner 3 dancers. What they're going to show you is the body of the forehand. This would be the next step that we actually teach, so these kids can actually get to know each other. They have the time to dance socially. We also have a chance, these guys would probably be competing this dance at the Minnesota Fesh. Now Fesh is actually a competition. Originally it was meant as a humming together. That's actually what the Irish word Fesh means. And what it is a whole bunch of arts. They do brown bread competition. If you can imagine that, you can come and sample it perhaps. They do music competitions, they do dance competitions. And these guys will go and do that. It's September 22nd, this Saturday, or that Saturday is at the River Center in St. Paul. If you guys want to come and see some Irish dancing done that way, it's a great way to support the community, a great way to learn more about Irish dancing. These guys are going to show you those basic steps and put it into the simple body of the forehand dance. Here we go. got parents in the audience, grandparents, aunties, uncles. If you want to know more about what these kids are learning, taking a group social Gaelic class, it's really low pressure and it's great fitness. I don't know if you guys realize, but they're leaping all the way through that. They're not just moving. I know it's hard to see sometimes when you're sitting flat. So it actually is a great workout, and they've also shown that it's good for the brain, because remembering all these things and being able to execute this stuff, it's like Alzheimer's prevention. It's fabulous. So what I will plug here is we actually, on the third Saturday of every month, we have a family Kaylee dance. For $5, you can come and dance, $5 per person, max cap for a family of 20. They actually teach the steps, they have a live band, they do it. It's an incredible little community of people that do that. And it's a great way to get introduced into Irish dancing. You have to remember to drink a lot of water though, because you wouldn't believe how hot you get doing that. Along that line, yes, this is a sport as well as a dance. These kids train for huge efforts and levels of fitness to maintain that through their whole dances. And you'll see a bit more of that. We're going to take it all right back up and put our senior dancers on with their treble jig. And you can look for the level of fitness that these guys have to use to keep this going all the way through. So here we go, our treble jig. where these dances come from, really the only one that would have been a traditional dance was the St. Patrick's Day that I showed you. The rest of this would be choreographed by my husband, Cormac. Cormac is conspicuously absent, and I'll tell you where he is. He is actually in Australia. Irish dancing is done all over the world, and right now they are doing their regional championships, and they've flown him down as a musician to go and play for them. So he's having a really exciting time. He actually Skyped us in class on Thursday, which was fantastic. The kids thought that was great. And while we miss him, what I want to make sure everybody knows is that I'm never flying solo here. One of the best parts about what we do is we have this incredible community that we work with. We've got, besides loving these kids, we've got the best families and teachers and parents, and we have a great booster club that supports us. We have an incredible community that is there. I've got 3 kids in this, and sometimes I'm not the best mother while I'm up here doing this, and sometimes it takes a village, and they're up doing this. So I want to send a thank you out to everybody who comes and supports our school with them. It's nice not to know I'm not flying solo. What they allow us to do by being our support system is to do what we love, and that's teaching. So I'm going to show you their very last piece here. Our kids are going to come up, beginners. You guys ready? They're going to show you their last piece. It's the light jig. This is often their favorite one. Now, while it doesn't have the stompy loud parts on the floor, it is extremely bouncy, and we love that it's bouncy. Hey, you guys? That's good. Hey, Cassidy. Thank you, Kate. All right, guys, here comes her light jig and last chance on stage for our beginner class. Thank you. Bring it to our last big number here as we bring the rest of our school on. I'll remind you, we are O'Shea Irish Dance. We actually teach at the Celtic Junction. Cormac and I started the Junction as an art center, a community center. There are a lot of things going on there. There's at least 7, 8 different dance groups that actually use our facility. We have the Center for Irish Music, which runs out of there, and loads and loads of our kids take music classes. Dance grew out of the music, so it's a perfect marriage of harmony, of a physical piece of work, and then also playing instruments. I want to actually thank especially Nicole Peterson, our administrator, who has helped me organize this. Again, without her, she's been incredible. Our stage managers, Meg and Callie, they've been absolutely incredible coming on here. And if you guys want to learn more about us, about our tradition, about our history, we have our website. Cormac comes from a 40-year tradition of competitive Irish dance training. His mom and dad still teach actively and have one of the most successful schools in the world in both Ceilidh and solo championship training. So we have a lot to live up to all the time. And you can see, so to our dancers, I hope you enjoyed this last number. It's called the Hornpipe. It's a horseshoe dance, and it's actually my favorite one. It's got an incredible swing to it. If you listen to the music, legend has it that it was a dance done by sailors. And you can think of the rocking of the ship or the rocking of the waves. I don't know that there's any truth in that mythological statement, but I love it because it describes it really well to the kids as they're learning it. It's a beautiful, beautiful rhythm, beautiful piece. And we'd like to thank you all for coming. Thank you to the Irish Fair, and we'll see you again maybe at 2 o'clock. We perform or next year. Thank you very much.